service like St. Louis, Illinois? Like, what area do you service?
So I'm in Collinsville, Illinois, and that is about 15 minutes east of St. Louis, Missouri. So like we're right on the river, and the river is the border, you know.
Yeah.
So we do all of the St. Louis area, but we do way more Illinois business than Missouri business. That's for sure.
Okay.
So like it's called the Metro East, which is just east of St. Louis, really.
East of St. Louis.
Yep,
and
we do a lot of St. Louis stuff.
St. Louis is the gateway to the west, right? That's why they got the arch.
Yeah, we got the arch on a lot of our banners and things that we're putting out for this seminar. You know, the ads have got the arch in it so that folks know where they would be traveling to if they want to come, you know.
Yeah. So
the arch is pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I've been in the arch.
Have you?
Yep. And then real quick, if you guys like what I'm doing here, consider supporting me on Patreon. I got the link. I'll put the link in my comments on Patreon. I just shared this. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing this. Bo, are you on your computer or you?
I'm on my computer, yeah.
You can share it too if you want. So you should be able to see on my personal page. You might need to open up another tab. And then you should see that we're live, and then you could have your audience join us as well. And we'll be talking about Bo's vibration method, but also you'll be doing some seminars. And let me see if I can find a link to your seminar here.
Oh, I can share it in a couple of different places here, can't I? Cool.
Yeah, you can share wherever you want, dude. And then, yeah, let's get some people joining us from your camp as well. And anybody have any questions or comments, let us know, and we'll get to those. And here, I'll show this. I'll share the screen here. And you can share the screen as well on the computer, just so you know, Bo. But here's what this looks like. The Mastering the Pager is going to be September 27th and 29th at the end of September here in a month. And looks like that's going to be, there's the arch that we were just talking about. It's going to be you, Bo Harrison, and Aaron Marmon, Mastering the Pager, introducing a new era of e-collar training, and that's what we're going to discuss as well. Positive Vibrations e-collar clinic.
Yep.
And I'll put your email in the comments down below, Kranky K9 at gmail.com. If you want more information, if you want to sign up for that, it looks like a 3-day seminar.
Yep. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep.
Cool, man.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. The seminar coming up right here at the end of September. It's $250 for an audit spot, $400 for a working spot if you want to bring a dog. And there's a lot going on with this seminar. Like, if you come, the best thing I can tell you is I'll show you something you've never seen before. Right? Yeah. And I think all of us dog trainers are looking for that, aren't we?
We better be.
I mean, every one of us goes to these seminars and goes to these conferences because we're looking for that golden gem of information that's going to get us further with the next dog that comes through the door, right? So I do believe that, you know, that I'll show you a new way to look at dog training and a new way to look at behavior and a new way to look at the electric collar. You know, I think people are going to really think it's pretty fun, pretty interesting. And it involves the e-collar as well. You know, everybody that you've ever met that does e-collar says never touch that pager button. You know, don't hit the vibrate. And I got to tell you, the amount of hatred that I get just from telling people that I use vibration, it's kind of amazing. But I mean, it's highly effective, and it's just like anything. If you know how to introduce it, it's going to go well for you. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill. My darling just brought me some coffee.
Yeah.
Both Bo and I had rough nights last night. We were just talking about, so hopefully we can perk up for you guys during our little live stream here. And, you know, it's important as dog trainers to have an eclectic knowledge base and to, you know, always be learning, but also in a safe way to be able to experiment and to have knowledge and be able to apply it as well. And there's a saying that goes not just in the dog training industry, but in the industry, or it's just a saying that applies to many different industries, is that people that say it can't be done need to get out of the way of the people that are actually doing it.
That's right. Yeah. I've heard it. Just because you don't know how doesn't mean it can't be done. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of the same kind of an idea. And it's amazing when you go and you start speaking, hey, I'm doing this thing. People say there's nothing new out there. Well, to be honest, this isn't that new either. This is like, if folks show up to it, they're going to go, oh yeah, I think I've seen that technique somewhere else. And I think I've seen that one somewhere else and this there, but wait a minute. It's all organized in a way that I've never seen before. Well, this is really neat and that's new. But at the same time, these techniques are 50, 60 years old. They're just packaged in a new way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and the technology wasn't here 50, 60 years ago of these remote collars, right?
That's right. That's right. But the way we've been communicating with dogs, has been passed down from trainer to trainer to trainer to trainer forever. And it has been changed just a little bit each time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had a mentor, and she's mentored quite a few people, but for some reason, this method, like, even though I know of at least 10 other people that know how to train it, but it's not out there. You know what I mean? Nobody understands it. And you even mentioned vibration, and some of the other trainers that are using vibration like me, they go, oh, Bo, you're wasting your time. Don't even say it on the internet. Don't even say it on social media. Nobody's ever going to, believe you, or you're only going to get this and that. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of think that it's a ridiculously humane and effective way, and it can really change the way people think about dog training and think about the electric collar. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but I had a mentor. Her name was Kelly Blackwell, and she taught me how to do this. She taught me how to do this from beginning to end, and I appreciate her for that. So it's a vibration method. The main thing with vibration is knowing how to introduce it. And if you think about it, well, Bill, what's the complaint that folks have about vibrate? If you could, help me here. You've heard folks say, oh, it's going to scare the dog. It's going to startle the dog. My dog hates vibration. Right. And the reason for that, for all of us guys that understand e-collars, is because it's loud. Right. They say it's jarring. It's startling. Right.
Yeah. Well, and it's also very different than what the dog's used to, different than the touch they might feel from us. Mm-hmm. And it's different from, anything basically that they've felt. Right. And so and a lot of times with that, if it's not done correctly, is perceived negatively, is that the word? Yeah. Or negatively, right. Yep. From the dog's perspective. And so I can see it needing to be introduced, and that's probably the main focus. That if I was doing this as somebody that is kind of just thinking about it, it's like, look, if we introduce this properly and then make this meaningful to the dog, then we can structure in a way that is going to be beneficial for the relationship as well.
That's 100%. So on the vibration hurting or scaring the dog, okay? And you'll hear people all over the place. Vibration is punitive. It's disciplinary. I mean, it can be if you use it that way, that's for sure. But even then, okay, let's say that vibration was disciplinary or punitive. How many times could it be punitive or disciplinary? Like, there's literally no pain. There's nothing. It's a startle, isn't it? Like if a dog was scared by it, if they jumped or startled, how many times can I sneak up behind you and say boo before the effect stops working?
Right.
Does that make sense? And so even if I did, and I don't, so just to give you some context, the vibration is loaded as a positive reinforcement cue. Okay. Vibration equals food. But it equals a lot more than that.
It's almost a marker, right? It means that you're going to get paid.
Yeah. It's more of a cue, though. It's more kind of taking the place of like the word.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like I might, you hit it to tell them to lay down. You hit it to tell them to recall. You hit it to tell them to heel. You'd hit it to say we're turning. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. I'm heading this way. I'm heading that way. Something's changed, and you should check in with your handler for information. is mainly what it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
the signal, like look at me, or look at, look at towards your handler, look at towards the human. This is an indicator that there's a communication coming down the pipeline, right?
that's right.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up,
Yeah.
George?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, George, how you doing? George has played around with some vibrate. We've talked about that in the past. But I mean, vibration equals food. It's that simple, but it's also not, because if it was that simple, I don't think it would be ridiculously effective. There's got to be other motivators involved. There has to be lots of other motivators involved. We have to understand the nature of the dog. We've got to understand what they want. And the main thing is that we can't scare them. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, when somebody says, oh, you're going to load that vibrate in and it's going to startle the dog, and then you're going to be using it as punishment. The way that we're doing it, if that occurred, it would screw up the whole plan. The dog would shut down. He'd stop wanting to work with me. He'd go, something weird's here. I can't handle this. I'm not working. And then no learning would occur. Right. So folks' biggest complaint on vibration is that it's going to startle the dog. It's going to scare the dog. All right. Now let's break this down. If trainers are intelligent and creative enough to make electric stimulation palatable to the dog, okay, we've ran through this for years now, is using low level stim to where we can pair it with food, pair it with fun, excitement, whatever, to where they actually, learn to tolerate it and use it as a cue or a signal. If they can do that with electric stimulation, I mean, how far-fetched is it to think we could do it with a vibration? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all in how you load it. So I tell you, the big mistake that everybody makes is they hit the button when the dog's calm. That's it. Like, think about the way that low level gets introduced. And I don't know how you introduce it, Bill, but I know that when I was, I've been doing this for about 18 years. And back in 2010 or so, whenever I was learning e-collar, what we would do is we'd put it on the dog and turn it down to a level 5, right? And we would tick, 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 and you'd try to see an ear twitch or like this or that, And in this moment, the dog is in a training room. He might be sniffing. It's really low distraction, low level, right? Low setting, low energy. But if you tried to do that with a vibration, that dog would jump 3 feet in the air and he would have a startle response to it.
I think there's a bug or something.
I mean, he's literally sniffing. Imagine that you were deep in concentration and then I snuck up behind you and rattled this damn thing in your ear. You jump 3 feet in the air. You see what I'm saying? So you can't do it in a low distraction setting. That's the trick. You have to train in drive. Okay. If you're training in drive, you're not going to have a problem. Okay. So the dog has to be partying, high energy, running around, having a good time. Okay. He's got to be ready to go. So, now I do know there's other ways of doing it than the way that I do it. Like George here, he the way that he did it was he got one of those vibration collars that's got where you can turn it down, and he turns it down to a low setting and then I think pairs it with food, and I've seen other folks do it that way. Whereas I don't use the vibration collar, the vibration only collar. I use a mini educator. I use a dog tra. I just use the regular vibrate that is on every, e-collar on the market. Right. But I don't need it to be variable.
Let me see here. This, vibration only. I'm looking on ecollar.com because I know that they have one, right?
They do have one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, eCollar's got one. eCollar Tech. You mean they've got a vibration only, but that's not the one I'm using. I don't need a vibration only. I don't need a variable vibrate. I really just need and I do need a stem as well, because there are scenarios where you're gonna need both the vibrate and the stem. It's not a vibrate only method, okay, but it is mostly vibrate. And the thing about the vibrate is that once you get it loaded in, you can teach with it for the rest of the dog's life. So but yeah, we don't really use the pager only. I just use the mini educator. I like the dog tras too. I really like dog tra. as well. But these e-collar tech, I've been using that mini educator since I started e-collar work 15 years ago. So that's my tool that I'm going to be using most of the time, is that mini educator. So anyways, though, we're introducing it in drive. I'm going to get the dog running. I'm going to get, the first time he feels that vibrate, he's going to be full blast running. He's going to be excited. He's going to be partying. And that's how we get it introduced. And so we introduce it through recall. So this seminar that's coming up, okay, that you showed at the beginning, it's an e-collar clinic based on learning these pager techniques. It has a huge focus on recall. Okay. I don't know if you've seen my recall videos. I had another one on my page there, Bill, that had a video of the recalls. I don't know, it had music on it. You might not want to play it, but they're lightning fast recalls, handbrake turns, and it's fun, man. And I got to tell you, I had a very hard, I don't want to say I had a hard time with recall. I could always get the dogs to come back, but I didn't get fast, flashy, motivated recalls until I started rolling with this method here. So what you looking for there, Bill?
Looking for that video.
It'd be on Facebook, not my website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually it right there, but that's a link to my TikTok, but that's the video.
This one right here?
It is. Yeah.
I should be able to show it.
Yeah. See if you can click it and show it. That's a TikTok link, though. It depends on if it takes us to that video. It's also on Facebook, though.
I'm going to go to, well, here, let's see.
Whatever's easier. You know, sometimes you hit that button and then it takes you to TikTok, doesn't take you to the actual video.
Yeah. Can you see this? I'll share this tab instead. Okay.
The only thing,
watching it. So that's
there you go. Yeah, that's the video. That's the marketing video I have right out for this seminar. It's just showing the recalls, and they're fun. They're fun. They're fast. They're flashy. These dogs are running back to us as fast as they would chase a squirrel, you know. And you can see how much fun he's having too. Bam. Handbrake turns fast as lightning back to the handler. This little Vizsla, it was fast as hell. I think there's one at the end where this is a little border collie mix, and then at the end there's a little doodle who's I call off of a bird. I think that's Andre. So that's my boy right there. He's about 5 years old now. He's pretty fun. I got him doing lots of stuff. But he's that giant whale, that tail just up wagging. He's partying. He's having a great time. Here's that little doodle. So fast recalls. Back to the handler. Okay. So our clinic's going to focus on recall. Recall is the heart of obedience. I don't know that everybody always agrees with that. I get a lot of folks who are thinking stay commands are really more important. I'm more of a sticky to the handler recall kind of a guy.
I like recall.
Good. That's good.
I agree. Right. Because regardless, like what's going on in the environment, stay is good. But if we can't call our dog back to us, and if they become, we look at motivators, and we also look at competing motivators, and if there's something motivating that dog that's competing with us, if we can call our dog back off of that, whatever's getting their interest is going to be way more important. Because if they see something they want, run, and it would blow us off as a recall, we don't have that set in stone, then the dog could be looking at something that's across the highway, right? Could be looking at something that's very dangerous. And just like when I was talking with Jay Jack as well, like we have to have a way to tell our dog, hey, look, this asphalt is not anything that if you run it across the field, once you hit this asphalt, you need to maybe be a little bit weary or train the dog like, look, this is not a safe spot for you to be. And so I agree, recall is definitely there. And I know in KMODT and Keeler method of dog training, the recall is the last thing that we teach, because we want everything, kind of foundation laid, and then the recall we call it out of all the different situations. Like the
recall in Keeler work, it almost happens organically though by the time you get there, and that's why he does it last, right? Is because by the time you've done your lunge line work, your heeling work, your stay commands, all the repetition, this dog is staring at you and you've got engagement. So then when you go to do the recall, he goes, well, yeah, duh, I'll be right there. You see what I'm saying? So there's so much less And so in his method, it makes a lot of sense to do that last. In my method, I do it first. It's the first thing we do. So like if you were to come to a seminar, and let's say you had a average happy-go-lucky food-driven Labrador, Shepherd, Malinois, whatever, the ones that we all like to get because we can get them whipped into shape quick. I'll have that guy recalling from 100 feet away in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Less than 10 minutes. We're going to be getting recalls from 100 feet away, fast, flashy recalls. Okay. And have you ever recalled a dog so many times that they just don't leave your side? That they just decide to stick by you because they're like, hey, every time I go over there, you call me back. There's food over here. This seems like a really great area by you. It seems like a pleasant heaven over here by you, where all the goods are at, where all the attention and the food and the interaction is. I'm just going to stay here by you. And I call that stickiness. But once I get that stickiness, then it's super, super simple to turn that into heel.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So like we work on recalls first. The dog becomes sticky to the handler due to being recalled so many times. And then at that point in time, I don't have to correct him for leaving like I used to have to whenever I was working leash work first. So we train dogs off leash from A to Z. So I start on day one off leash, recall work. Then we go into healing, off leash. Then we're going to be getting platforms and downs, and everything is going to be done off leash. And the leash is only added once the dog's trained. So once the dog is sticky and healing, I put the leash on and he goes, you mind if I just keep healing? Like why would I leave now that there's a leash here? So we fix the leash pulling really before we ever even get into adding the leash. Right. So
yeah, it's natural for a dog to find their advantage, and dogs are smart and they recognize patterns, and that's it. It's like, look, that's basically what you're talking about is a dog.
Yeah.
Their advantage. George says that he'd be interested in hearing how you do distance work.
Like a down at a distance? Is that kind of what he means?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
I would assume like distance work, like a long stay, the recall, we just saw some pretty good long distance recalls.
It's the long distance recalls are super simple. The downs and the things at a distance, the stays at a distance are they're not as a big of a focus inside of this that I'm working with, but yeah, I mean, I generally don't do a lot of down stays at a distance. 100 or so yards out, sit down in motion. Yeah, maybe George, you can teach me how to do that, buddy.
Well, we get the reflexive down, right,
Uh-huh.
and then start to incrementally increase the distance, or even a down and heel, right, and then a down. Implied down is down stay, right, or you can even do a down stay.
We do implied downs, yeah. We do an implied down, like a lot of people do an implied sit. We do an implied down.
Doors open, he says.
Yeah, I love it.
Well,
so it's a lot of free shaping. Okay, the whole thing. Let's go back to this vibration, right? If you there's three reasons why people don't like that vibration. The one is that it can scare the dog. We just have to introduce it correctly. We have to introduce it while the dog's in drive, right? If we were to try to use an E-stim at the level that the vibrates at, the dog would dislike that as well. So the big problem is that it's loud. So then you just have to make the environment loud. You see what I'm saying? So if you have like low distraction, then you need low level. So if you have low distraction, a high level vibrate is really going to screw you over. You're not going to do well there. So if you're going to go with a high vibration that is loud, and by the way, that's the reason I like it. Okay. Like some of the problems that I had with low level work was that sometimes there was bad contact. We couldn't tell if we had connection with the skin. I know that, that Martin Systems collar is great and it can fix those issues, but I don't need it because I don't need great contact with the skin. Do you see what I'm saying? It's loud. Yeah. The dog's going to feel it. He's going to hear it. It's tapping into two different sensations, both, audible and tactile at the same time. So since I started working vibration, I've never hit a button and had a dog at a distance and had it and wondered if the dog felt it or not. It's never occurred. Do you see what I'm saying? The dog's gonna feel it. So it really just kind of gets rid of a lot of those problems. The other reason that I think people don't like vibration is it cannot be used as negative reinforcement. Okay, you can't use it as a negative reinforcement. So like when you're looking at a lot of these methods that are low level, you're gonna tick, 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 tick until the dog does the behavior, and then the sensation goes away, and then the reward occurs. And we aren't doing that with the vibrate. You're only hitting that button one time. It's literally a pop, and it's a cue. It's like how trainers say, don't say the word sit over and over and over. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm cueing the dog, and I'm cueing what he already wants to do. And this is why it works so well, is because since we're free shaping, he thinks it's all his idea. Do you see what I'm saying? So since we're free shaping, I'm going to put him inside of an exercise where I understand how his drives work. I understand what his motives are before we even get to start training, because we know what dogs are like. We know what dogs do. All of us know how dogs work. And so I'm placing these ideas in his mind, and he's thinking it's his idea, because we're free shaping, right? So when we're free shaping, we're just marking him being correct over and over and over. And he's going, man, I'm fucking good at this, man. I got to tell you, I'm getting these downs. These treats are coming. I'm pretty good at this. And then I start to put vibrates on the things that he already wants to do. So it's not negative reinforcement. I'm not forcing the dog with the vibrate. I'm literally cueing him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you do the shaping, is that the mark is going to be with the vibrate, or do you use a clicker or something else to mark?
No, there's no clicker. I just use my voice as the marker. Like my voice and then food. Yeah. And I have a weird way of marking things. I don't use a yes, a good boy, a click. It's not scientific. I'm like trying to pump up his ego in a little ways, and I'm trying to kind of make him feel very proud of himself. So I'm a little over the top with some of the praise that I'm using while I'm marking. The marker is going to be like, oh wow, look what he did, isn't that so cute, and then really pumping up his ego, trying to get him to perform. The way I kind of look at it is that I'm creating a performer. I'm creating an artist. Okay, so this dog, when he comes in to my training room, I'm never going to tell him what to do. Okay, I'm not going to tell him what to do. I'm going to wait.
Are you going to give him hints? Are you going to lure him at all, or
no? What I'll do is pair a body language with. So I have a certain body language, and I'm standing there giving off this body language, and then waiting, and he happens to lay down, and then I go, "Holy shit! You see what that dog did?" And I throw food at him. Okay, and he goes, I came up with that myself. I thought this looked comfortable over here, so I decided to lay down, and then all the humans in the room couldn't believe what I did, and they threw food at me. So this is obviously a good choice for me. And then he repeats, and then he's performing. Do you see what I'm saying?
And you throw the food at him. You don't.
No. That's just me talking. I'm giving it directly from hand.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
directly from hand. No, I don't want to train them to check the floor. I want them to know it's coming from hand every time. Yeah,
right, and that makes sense, because then you become part of the value equation.
That's
right,
exactly
like
yeah,
right,
that's
the
exactly
exchange or like the banker type of thing. Like
100%.
I'm going to come to you to get paid. Like, and then but there are methodologies where we do throw the food on the floor after we've established the bond between you and the dog. And now I might throw it or have a different cue to go search this out. And then the dog uses his eyes, his nose, and then finds the food and then goes back into the behavior as well. But that's kind of a next level, right?
Yeah, right. And I don't, everything that I'm teaching, it's all pet work. Okay. It's all pet market. There's no protection. We're not doing drug dogs. We're not doing scent work with this. This is pet market. Sit, come down, stay and heal. Off-leash reliability, fast, flashy recalls, beautiful healing. Dogs who are engaged with the handler love working. But the biggest, one of the biggest rules that we have in the method is that we don't tell the dog what to do.
Okay.
And it's weird. People come in the training room and it says no words, real big on the board. No words. And it means shut up and start training. Because your words are screwing you over. You're just throwing out Spanish at this. He doesn't understand what you're saying. He's blah, 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 blah. He doesn't get it. So you're just slowing down learning. On top of that, too, if I'm trying to build pride and passion. I'm trying to create an artist. I'm trying to create a dog who literally believes that he's got, and these are my own analogies, right? I think George is the one that said we never interviewed a dog before. That might have been him, because God knows what they actually think, you know. But in my head, I'm trying to create an artist. I'm trying to pump up this dog's ego to make him think he's special. Okay. He comes in the room, he happens to hop up on the platform, and then we all go, holy shit, look at that. Look at that dog. Are you kidding me? And we get over there and we pay him, right? And he goes, really? For getting on this thing? You know,
Yeah.
okay. And then he repeats it, and then we reinforce over and over again. But the initial moment that you train the behavior, this is the kicker. I don't food lure, and I don't food lure. It's all free shaping. The dog has to believe that he came up with it. So I'm going to place him in some kind of an exercise that is some kind of a puzzle. And it's going to be a very easy puzzle, right? Like anybody could figure it out. And he's going to get the answer right. And then we're going to pump up his ego, give him food, make him think that he came up with all of it. And then he's walking around like, I got to tell you, man, I'm hitting it with these humans today. I mean, I come in a room and they're all hollering and cheering at me and giving me food. Like what? And I say all, but it's just straight from the handler, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense as a pet in the pet world too, because like these are dogs that are coming into our lives to enhance our lives and to engage these dogs on a level that gives us joy, but also fulfills that dog as well. And a lot of trainers, especially in the working dogs, they use words that might turn off a pet client, like pay your dog, stuff like this. Is like, look, man, it's make your dog the hero, make your dog the artist. Like, let's celebrate what that dog just did. Let's make a bond. And Nelson Hodges talks about human beings being that chattering monkey, right? And I think that's what the dog looks at us like, because you know they're the predator, we're the primate, and we're so used to, like, look at what we're doing right now, Bo, like just sitting here across the country talking, and other people all around the world are watching us. And if you guys are watching, if you don't mind, in the comments, let me know where you're watching from, and share this as well. But this is how we communicate. I'm just standing in one place being a chattering monkey, and you guys are listening, and Bo is engaged and chattering monkey in himself to me, right. and teaching me this new vibration method. But that's not how dogs learn. That's not how dogs interact. If we watch dogs, they're going to sneak, they're going to celebrate, they're going to be proud, they're going to be a little boastful, but like in ways that aren't using their voice phonetically or authoritatively like we do as human beings. They use body language.
Yeah. And I always, so like body language, let's kick to body language. Okay. You're in Seattle, so you guys have, like, up in there, you got like bears and mountain lions and things that I don't have down here in Illinois. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. All right. So let's go into the advice that they give you if you ever come up against a bear in the wild. Okay. All right. So this is the advice I've heard. Now you're from Seattle, so maybe you got better advice than I do. But I just seen the National Geographic video with the little guy that's got the tiny microphone who's talking over the video. Okay, so you get too close to a cougar's nest or too close to a bear, and they say, all right, if this is you, okay, what do they tell you to do? They tell you to look at the dog, make yourself big, make your arms real big and, you know, scary so that you seem bigger, right? But what do they tell you not to do? Turn your back.
Or run, right?
So why do you not turn your back? Why would you not turn your back on a predator? Because they're going to be on you in no time, right? So like if you turn your back and you walk away, the predator will move toward you. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's their opportunity for, you know, very opportunistic, right? And that's how they live their world, is an opportunistic way. And don't give them that advantage of taking your eyes off of them.
But in reality too, though, predators chase prey. If you turn, walk away, you're now moving away. And this is the sequence of predator chases prey. You're triggering their predatory instinct by moving with motion. And we have little predators in our living rooms, okay? And every single one of them follows things that move.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you can try, anybody who's listening to this can get up right now, walk to your bedroom. The dog will go with you. Walk to your other bedroom. The dog will go with you. They follow things that move. They chase a leaf that's going through the gutter when they're puppies. Oh, look at that. And they don't think in their head, should I or should I not chase the squirrel? They just chase the squirrel like the bird flies and the fish swims. They just chase the squirrel. And they don't think, should I go upstairs with you? They just go upstairs with you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So here's my point is that how many of us now knowing that if we were to walk away, that the dog would follow innately without thinking of it? Now, how many of us have stood still, looked right at them and told them to come with human language, chattering monkey, like you said? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're giving them a body language that says stay by facing them. Because the body language that says move toward me is moving the other direction. When you face them, they stop moving. And when you move away, they follow. And so I just think like when I finally like this clicked, there've been times when I'm like in a doorway and I open the door and I'm like, go through. And then the dog looks at me and I'm like, go. And he looks at me. He's waiting on me to go first. And then he follows.
Or waiting for you to step back.
Yeah.
Right.
But they follow things that move. They follow things that move. So if you move, they will follow, and they don't think, should I or should I not follow? Unless there's extreme fear or anxiety, and then they do. They just follow. So I'm going to use that understanding of how that body language works. If I turn my back and move away, the dog will follow. And that is how I'm going to pair any behavior where the dog needs to move towards the handler or move with the handler. Okay?
Yes.
And so this is what we're talking body language, right? How many of us have stood still, looked right at the dog and said, come, when our body is facing them? So silently, we're saying, don't come by looking at them. However, we're given these gibberish words that they don't understand. And then they blow us off and don't do it. And then we get mad and we start yelling at them to do it. And now you are ugly. Okay, I'm not coming over there. You look like you're some kind of asshole who's going to beat me. No, thank you.
Threat. You've become a threat now.
I'm obviously in trouble. I'm going to move towards a threat. What kind of sense does that make? But all my clients, I get them up. I go walk around the room. Dog follows. I go, okay, let's go down here. We go down there. What does the dog do? He goes down there too. We go down here. What does the dog do? He goes down here too. We turn. What's the dog do? He turn. I tell him, look, this dog, you drive him like you drive a car. Your feet are the gas pedal. When you make a turn, that's your steering wheel. And when you stop, what did the dog do? He stopped. And if we had our automatic downs taught already, then he would lay down while we're stopping. They follow things that move. Body language is natural. I don't need words. I don't need to yank on a chain because I understand what triggers them to move. Just like the bear, just like the cougar. Turn your back, walk away. They'll be on you in no time. Well, here's a little predator. His mind works the same way. Predator chases prey. So I'm becoming the prey. Do you see what I mean? So our my mentor, Kelly, she would say, be the leaf. And I say, be the squirrel. I don't know why I felt like I needed to change it, but I think her analogy of be the leaf is a little more appropriate, really, because the leaf has no motive.
Be enticing. Be interesting.
You're to be attractive. You're to be seductive.
That's what I tell when I do these seminars to elementary school kids. Right. When I tell them when we encounter a dog in the world that we don't know, and if don't be seductive, don't be interesting, be like a tree, be still, don't run away, and have confidence. Don't be interesting to this dog. Don't be enticing. Right. And so it kind of goes on the same aspect is like sometimes we do want to be enticing, but that's what just popped into my head. And also I remember Jason Vasconi has these large pack socializations, right? And one of his main rules, here he is doing it, is like, as human beings, see how all this movement is happening here, and he's got this riding crop, and
he's using the same thing,
right? But he's using it he tells people, look, this riding crop isn't for the dogs. It's for the people that stop moving. So, people, we walk in a counterclockwise motion as people,
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of coach everybody. Is like, look, we don't hold still here. We move, just like the dog knows that everybody's moving right here.
Yep.
Movement is very important for engagement. Is movement together as a pack symbolizes unity in a way, right? And so that makes sense of be enticing, become the leaf, become the squirrel, like you're saying.
Yeah, beat a squirrel. And in this way, right? Like movement is engagement. It is, like we say, it's very important for engagement. I mean, it is engagement. Stop moving. What happens? They walk away and start sniffing. Start moving again. They stop sniffing and they follow. Just test it out. Test out these really simple things, okay? Go out in a big field. Make sure it's fenced in. Take the leash off. And then start walking. Okay, let's go.
Start running.
Yeah, start running. Start running.
And then run the other way. Right. And
that's just it. Yeah. You move opposite always. So a big rule is never, ever move towards the dog. Never, ever move toward them. Never. And this is my mentor would say systemic motion away from the dog. Systemic meaning every single moment in your day, never move toward them, never move through them. Like, you remember the old advice where like you'd try to be the pack leader and move the dog out of your way, so he respects you, because he knows that you're the boss. I'm the opposite. I'm moving around that dog. I'm never ever moving through the dog, because how many squirrels are going to push a predator out of the way? Do you see what I'm saying? It's not attractive. It's not attractive. If you want to be bossy and you want to boss me around, then I don't know. There's something about you that just became unattractive.
Well, there's sense? Also, so a vibration first. I'm just writing down some key points here. When we start to introduce the vibration, we're doing it in high drive or high stimulation environment. So the dog is moving too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes we'll put 4 or 5 dogs in the yard when we do it.
Okay.
So and these are helper dogs. These are helper dogs. They've already been trained. So then I throw 4 or 5 happy-go-luckies out there that have already been trained. Then the new guy comes in. So now it's a party, right? So the drive is flowing. They're running. They're zooming in. I go e-collar on these guys, vibrate, all 5 dogs right back to the handler at the exact same time. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And they'll bring that guy to me. There's a peer pressure involved there as well. But it's high drive. And the main reason for the dogs, those helper dogs, like I said, they'll bring a difficult dog to you. But the big benefit there is that it's high drive moment. They're playing, they're partying, they're having a great time. So then what am I pairing that vibration with?
Great time.
A great time. Do you see what I'm saying? They're out here partying, playing, having a good time. And here comes in that vibrate, right back to the handler. Everybody gets treats. And they're like, dude, this is a party. This is cool. And then now when I start hitting, sometimes you'll hit that vibrate and you'll see it push energy into the dog. You'll see the dog every single time that I'm hitting that vibrate. I'm careful to in the introduction process and even in intermediate and into the advanced stuff. Majority of this stuff, I'm pairing that in high drive moments. And so the vibration is not just getting paired with motion and food, be the squirrel. It's getting paired with fun and excitement. So whenever that classical conditioning takes hold down the line, you'll hit that vibrate and these dogs will explode with excitement, fun, energy, even in non-exciting moments. Do you see what I'm saying? It'll push energy into the dog because every single time that thing occurred and it's right here on its neck, a party occurred. Do you see what I'm saying? So you hit that button and he goes, where's the party? What are we doing here? Does that make sense?
Yeah, dogs are associative thinkers. So if we teach them the introduction of this during a time of, high arousal and high fun, high endorphins, high dopamine,
right?
Then naturally, because they're associative thinkers, when we pair that with another environment, they're going to rely back on that first experience where it was conditioned, being conditioned properly, right? Is the key here. Yeah. And then the second thing is that I wrote down here is become the leaf, become the squirrel. So we're moving away. And then the third thing I said is systemic motion away from the dog.
Always. Never move towards them, never move through them.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, can I say this too? Okay, I am not the pack leader. I am not the pack leader. Okay. I am the snack leader.
A snack leader.
I'm the snack leader. Okay.
Well, and then what if we have dogs? Because a lot of times too, like I'm working with dogs that were rehabbing some pretty hardcore
Right.
shit, like aggression, reactivity, possessiveness.
Uh-huh. Right.
Now I'm assuming that is this not the ideal dog, right?
No, I think it's beautiful for those kind of dogs.
Okay.
I think it's beautiful for those kind of dogs. I just have a different approach. I don't think that I need to prove a point to this jerk. I need to show him that the world ain't so heavy.
Yeah, lighten up, buddy.
That's kind of the point, is like, listen, haven't you been in a bad mood? You've been a complete asshole at times, and your boys come and grab you and they're like, come on, man, let's go find fun and party a little bit and shake this off and see if we can forget about this awful time. I think that these dogs that come through, and I do understand that some of these guys are super bad, need rehab, whatever. And I have a Keeler background, Bill. I've been through, the Keeler from A to Z. I know exactly how that stuff works. And if I thought I had a dog in front of me where I thought, well, this stuff's not working, let's move over to this one here, then I would switch methods just like that. But I haven't seen it happen. And this is why I'm so in love with this right now.
Okay.
Joel Harrison just said a happy dog doesn't bite people. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Do you see what I'm saying? So like if a dog is
Joel Harrison, your brother, you mean?
Yeah. My little brother, my baby kid brother. That's right.
Joel's going to do one of these with me too. I love.
Yeah,
Joel and I went to Napo Post Silver School as well together.
Yeah.
A happy dog is doesn't bite people. Yeah. I mean, I agree too, man. Like a happy dog.
Those dogs, they need an outlet. They need an outlet. They're misunderstood. They're I mean, some of this is a genetic aggression, but at the same time, like, a lot of these guys are just shut down. They've been
misunderstood, dude. They're shut down because they're misunderstood. They've been trying to communicate with their counterpart, their human counterpart, who's a different species. And the people either mislabel, misinterpret, or whatever it is. Let the behavior reach a degree where the dog, I tell people there's two reasons why a dog bites. That's it. I keep things very simple. One, because they think they can, and two, because they think they have to.
That's right. Majority of it is they think they have to. Majority.
Okay.
The majority of it is they think they have to, but they think they can. It certainly does exist, right? Like they think, hey, this will benefit me. I can get this guy to back off. I can get this to whatever. But I don't know. I'm seducing these dogs. So I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm skipping all over the place, right? But I love it for aggression work. I love it. I really do. I think that these dogs come in. I've got 2 or 3, and 2. This is not 100% positive reinforcement method, Bill. It's you know what I mean. I want it to be. I want a lot of positive and as much as possible. But I think that positive.
I don't think any system, when we start to understand what positive, negative, punishment and reinforcement include, every single system has all 4 quadrants. When you really start breaking it down, like positive punishment might be one that is lacking in ways, but negative punishment is there when you take a dog out of it, when you take a toy out of their mouth, when you stop, withhold food or whatever it is, because the dog's not doing what they. So people, I think, people are, I don't know, they just don't have a proper understanding of the quadrants. They think that positive and negative are just that, like good or bad, instead of adding something as positive and removing something as negative, and that's it. Like there's a scientific approach to this. So I don't mean to go. But
I mean, I will use the stem though, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not against.
That's why that's why you don't just use the pager collars. You use a regular collar.
I'm going to need it. I will say though that like once you get past it, you could go to a pager only collar if you wanted to.
Well, once it becomes reflexive, and it looks like some of those recalls were starting to become reflexive with that dog.
That's right. Well, can I say that's it from the get-go? It's got to be reflex. I don't want impulse control.
Okay.
I don't want that dog to think, should I or should I not? I want it reflexive. I want reflex. If I hit a button, boom, right back to the handler. boom, right back to the handler.
The dog's doing it before they realize they're doing it.
That's
it's
it.
Just like, and that's where you get the what did you call it? Parking brake, or
the handbrake turn.
Handbrake turn.
Yeah. And mine are pretty fast, but I got another friend of mine, Aaron Marmon. He's teaching the seminar with me, and he's got some handbrake turns, fast ass recalls too. You guys should check his stuff out. We were both we were both taught by Kelly Blackwell, and our recalls, we don't hold a candle to her recalls. We just don't. I mean, I hate it. I watch them and I'm like, damn it, Kelly. But I mean, she's the originator of the method. Do you know what I'm saying? She's the originator of the method, and so she's always going to be 10 light years ahead of me.
She better be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So but at the same time, it's a beautiful method. I think that any advanced dog trainer that shows up, and like, if you guys know what you're talking about, you've been doing e-collars, you understand dog behavior. Like Bill, you've learned Keeler, you've learned Napo, you've been around the block. If you
I'm always learning. That's why people don't realize, Bo, is like, I mean, I do these live streams and everybody that's watching these, but the main reason why I wanted to talk to Bo is so I can learn more about what he's doing. Because he's doing something. It's like, we're always learning, and this is how we can do it. This is how we bring harmony. We sit and talk and cooperate. And if somebody's doing something, maybe they have some pearls of wisdom that they can drop, and we all have something to teach each other, and we also have something to learn from each other. It's just that we have to kind of allow the process to happen and ask the questions and get a good understanding. But once I have this understanding, you're damn right, if I was in the area, I would go to that seminar.
I think you'd like it. I think you'd have a good time with it. I think anybody, like, I've been doing this for 18 years. Bill, you've been training for a long time. I know you have. I've known you for 10 at least that I've just known.
Well, I did the math, and even with Nelson, because I've been training as a little kid too.
Yeah.
And up here, I've had my business going on almost 20 years now. And even between, when I started this business, it was another, 10, 15 years. So like altogether 30 plus years I've been working with dogs, and it's crazy, man. I'm 50 years old, just about. And it's that's where, even at somebody that's been working with dogs as long as I have, there's no finish line here, man. We're always learning. That's the beauty.
Why we love it in a way. Like, we get to be nerds about this stuff. Do you know what I mean? We get to nerd out and really get in there. And what I know is I've seen, a lot of methods out there. I've seen a lot of them. I've been studying dogs for a long time, and there's nothing like this out there. It's unique. It's cool. It's fun.
It's palatable too, man, especially for pet dog people.
Very much so. Very much so.
Right. And that's where, like, even when I go through all these schools and working dog schools and work with some pretty awesome, amazing trainers, like, do you know how many of my pet dog people care about Napo?
Yeah, right. Zero. Yeah.
Right. And it's cool that I can, I can take them 180 degrees and put gasoline or whatever they want to do with their dog. But my pet dog people, they need help fixing a problem. They need help communicating with their dog. And it's not in a way that is a working relationship. It's an emotional bond that they have with this dog. It's a dream picture that they've painted about what life with the dog should be like.
Yeah.
And they're putting their hard-earned money on the table to help me achieve that. And when you talk about, celebrating that dog, when you're talking about something that is, I don't have to use the e-collar. Like, a lot of my clients are very apprehensive to the e-collar. That's why I learned Keeler. That's why I've learned a lot of different technologies. It's like, look, there's 100 roads to roam. There's thousands, millions of roads to roam. Yeah. Here's the advantages of this system. Here's the disadvantages of this system. It's your dog. Which way do you want to go? And I can see a lot of my clients liking this, right? And it works until it doesn't work, right?
It's easy to sell, and like I was saying, you got to use stem. But majority of the people, in the way that I'm using it, they go, well, yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly where you need it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if I were going to use it, that's pretty well where I figured it would need to be used, which is prey chasing. How you going to pull a dog off a squirrel without it? How you going to do it?
Yeah, you need to meet. Sometimes the intensity is over just like we're talking about introducing the intensity with the level that the dog is not going to get overwhelmed by the stimulus at the vibration.
Right.
There's sometimes that intensity is going to be so high that the dog is not even going to hear the vibration, right?
He's going to hear the vibration, but he's not going to hear a low level. And that's one of the reasons I love it, is because I will have, I don't know that they're not hearing it. I think that they're very specifically saying, I want that rabbit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think they're making a conscious choice, and they're going, like, I love my handler.
Motivators.
It's just it. I love my handler. I love this vibration. Vibration's a party. I love the food. I can't wait to get back and get that. But like, rabbit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is it for me. This is my day.
Dude, it's a big year for rabbits this year here. Do you guys have a lot of rabbits there? Dude, That's crazy how many rabbits we have here. If you guys have a lot of rabbits, let me know in the comments, because like I've never seen this many rabbits before. And I have a dog that's with me right now, an Akita Husky mix, and I just went to go pick him up today. And I was talking to the person about, has this dog ever slipped out of his flat collar or anything? He's like, he never did until yesterday when he went after a rabbit and killed it. And my wife is still very upset about it. And I'm like, well, that tells me a lot about your dog. Mm-hmm. And I just want you to, like, know that this is what a dog does too, man. And I was like, did he kill the rabbit? He's like, oh yeah, dude, he ate half of the rabbit before we got a hold of him. And I'm like, that's a dog being a dog, man. But
think about that, okay, with the whole be the squirrel thing. Okay, it's a rabbit. Be the rabbit, whatever. But it's a supplemental reward, right? You can't get the rabbit. Okay, this guy's obviously a rabbit killer, but in most scenarios, we got a guy. He's going to chase the rabbit. He's going to chase the squirrel. He's going to fail. The rabbit's going under the fence. The squirrel's going up the tree. He's going to throw nuts at you. Ha ha ha! Couldn't catch me. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can catch me.
Yeah.
And I got a badass treat pouch full of all kinds of shit that you don't really get very often. And it's a mix too. So we got the gambling effect going on. God knows what it could be. Do you see what I'm saying?
Intermittent reward. Yep.
Intermittent, right. I mean, who knows? I could pop a cheeseburger in your mouth. I don't know. You don't know what it could be. It could be what's behind door number 2. But the reality is that I'm becoming the distraction. So I'm competing against the distraction by being a distraction.
Dude, you're getting me going over here, bro.
You're ready to go. So,
I want a cheeseburger now.
Yeah, but anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's a good time. So let me get into what we call the lifeboat analogy.
Lifeboat analogy, okay.
The lifeboat analogy, okay. So in this method, you're the lifeboat. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that if I'm swimming in the ocean and the shark shows up, I'm getting the hell back in the boat.
Okay.
That makes sense? Now, in this example, shark shows up. I turn around to go start swimming back towards the boat. And I noticed that my buddy, Captain Jim, who brought me out here on this reef on the boat, well, he's been kidnapped by pirates. They got him tied up, and I don't know. They're not going to do good things to him. I'm going to take my chances with the shark. You see what I'm saying? He could have already eaten. So in this analogy, okay, you're either a lifeboat or you're a pirate with a machine gun. Okay, when your dog's swimming in nature and he runs into a shark, does he consider you his lifeboat, or does he consider you the pirate with the machine gun? Do you see what I'm saying? Are you attractive to him, or are you the prison warden? If you're think about your home, okay? Your home, you have your kennel, you got the crate, you've got 4 walls the dog lives in, and you have a backyard that's fenced in where you do sports, okay? Sounds kind of like a prison to me, okay? And I've got this guy here who is either a pack leader prison warden, constantly yelling, screaming, and making sure everybody minds with this angry face, or I've got a lovely best friend who we party together and enjoy our lives, and we move along on this road that we call life, and we overcome challenges day to day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which are you? Are you the prison warden, or are you literally your dog's best friend? Does he love you? Does he love you as much as that guy's dog loves him? Or are you a prison warden? Because if I escape the yard and I look back and I see a prison warden, Do I want to go back? Am I voluntarily going back to prison? No,
Nope.
I'm not. You know,
In fact, there's a saying, "They'll never take me alive again." Right?
that's right. And then, you know, I think a long time ago I was this guy, which is one of the reasons why I'm not anymore. But I was definitely, you rewind Bo Harrison 10 years, I was definitely the pack leader. Do you see what I'm saying? And I was, and it kind of, it's like, God, where does it end? I'm just constantly punitive and disciplinary, and they have to mind.
It feels gross. It feels gross.
Rules,
like
there's boundaries and there's limitations, and every single one of these dogs they have to mind, because I did a great job of explaining it to them. Do you see what I'm saying? But really, I'm just an asshole, and they're all looking at me like, Jesus, when's the next time that he's going to come and try to assert his dominance? And I'll tell you that I think that anyone who has that style of an attitude inside of the home with their dogs, let me see your recall. Let's see it. 100 feet away. Let's see how that dog recalls.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't want to come. So let me throw this at you, okay? Like, I'm the guy. I'm a pack leader. I've got, and Bill, I don't mind tools before I say this, like chains, prongs. I'm an e-collar guy. Obviously, I've used a ton of chains. I did all the Keeler stuff, so I'm not trying to talk bad about tools. But I'm saying, though, if I'm the guy yanking their chain and popping the prong collar over and over again, where else are they experiencing pain inside of their life? Where else are they experiencing it? Almost nowhere. If we take them to the vet, they have to have a surgery or whatever. They might experience pain if they trip on something in the yard or whatever. But pain doesn't occur to them other than at my side. Do you see what I'm saying? So when they're off leash and they're 100 feet away, why are they coming back to me and my prong collar? Why are they coming back over here? I have a painful aura, an energy that's flowing around me because of the punitive nature that I have with the dog whenever he's with me. And so why would he voluntarily come back to me? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that says that to me, that the pressure is greater than the hope, what we call, like, that's where it becomes demotivating. Hold on, I got my wife's out here somewhere.
I think I heard George say one time that it was he had some kind of a saying about how easy it was to convince a dog that he doesn't want to work with you. Do you know what I mean? And so all my clients come in and they're like, I want to learn how to be the alpha. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm sorry, but you got the wrong trainer, because you ain't learning how to be no alpha here. I said, that ain't a wolf. You ain't an alpha. Okay. And let me throw this at you. Okay. I got the dog pack here. Up here, I got the alpha. Who feeds that alpha 2 meals a day? Okay. This guy, the human, feeds the alpha 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
So I don't love the alpha thing.
I don't either, honestly.
And so just to kind of toe around this, I think it's a fun topic. The way that I look at it, instead of the alpha pack leader kind of a vibe that people have, I look at it a little differently. You know, the tiger shark, it's flowing through the ocean, and he's got that little fish that's stuck to his body, and it's eating that stuff off its skin. You know what I'm talking about? It's called a remora is the name of the fish.
Yeah.
Okay, you're with me. That's what we would call a symbiotic relationship, correct?
Yep.
So what's going on here? This tiger shark is gaining work from that fish, and the fish is gaining 2 things, safety and nutrition. Okay, he's gaining food from this shark, and nobody's screwing with that fish because he's just stuck to a tiger shark. So we've got safety and nutrition, and in return, fish does work for the shark. He cleans his skin. Think about your relationship with the dog. What do we gain? What do we give the dog? What is the gift, the big gift that we give them? What is it? It's survival.
Comfort, too.
Yeah, comfort. But safety and nutrition, okay, we give them 2 meals a day. We keep them warm in the winter, cool in the summer, free of fleas and ticks, proper veterinary care, lovely pet bed, you know, heat and air, everything that no dog ever had before, you know. And what do they give us in return? They work for us. They work for us. They guide the blind. They herd the sheep. They bite the bad guy. They hunt the birds. They work for us.
They fill our hearts with them that we love. They provide us entertainment.
That's
laughter,
the work they're doing. So as a companion animal, that's the work they're doing.
Unconditional love, right?
So we've got, in this symbiotic relationship, just like the shark and the fish, we deliver safety, nutrition, comfort. They deliver work. And that's the deal. And it's a deal as old as time. right? Like we all know there were dogs on the hieroglyphics of the pyramids. There's leashes and that we've evolved together. So when people say I have to be the pack leader, I'm like, you're already the pack leader. The universe set it up that way. You feed it. You're the man. It dies without you. If it loses you, it's dead. Hit by a car, train, lost in the woods. Without you, separation from the human equals death. How come the shark doesn't need a leash?
Because it's free in the wild. Yeah, it's just swimming around the ocean.
It's because the shark wants to be with the fish and the fish wants to be with the shark. They want each other. They love each other. They're a team. They survive better together. We've heard that before, haven't we? So in reality, if you know dogs, you don't need a leash. You don't need one. The only reason you need one is because there's a law that says that we have to have one. You see what I'm saying?
It reminds me of like the even though we're going back to Keeler, the mark of a trained dog is off leash reliability, right?
That's right. 100%.
He said, and you know what's funny, man, is that if we look at, I mean, this speaks to me. Like I tell people, rapport is power, right? And if we look at the root rapport, and here's rapport right here, what it means is that it is a close and harmonious relationship in which people or groups or dogs, right, concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well, right? And so we understand their feelings and ideas and communicate well. And then when you said when we have a good rapport, what do we have we have a good recall, right? And if we look at the origins of rapport, the origin is
to bring back. Yeah.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, right? It's pretty cool. I like that.
And what is recall? To bring back.
To bring back, yeah.
And so it kind of it's a synchronistic type of definition with the word that is very important. I think that you're talking about right now is building the rapport versus the general or the authoritative, right? Authoritative instead of authoritative. We're actually building that trust, harmonious relationship, a close harmonious relationship.
That's right.
Let's see what authoritative.
That's exactly it. And then, so as far as that rapport goes, I'm my dog's lifeboat. I am the lifeboat. And so, that means that if you get yourself into trouble, listen, this world is full of trouble. If you stick with me, I got your back, man. If you stick with me, I will keep you safe. I will always be there for you. I will be supportive, and I'm going to teach you cool shit, and I got great snacks. But if you leave my side and you go into nature, I can no longer help you. And the thing about nature is it's full of sharks. Okay? But the thing is that when you find that shark, you will know in your head already that I'm the lifeboat. You will know exactly where to come to find safety once again. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Now, for that reason, this is why I love my vibrators, because there is never any electricity allowed close by the handler's body. Okay?
Okay.
Never electricity close by the handler's body. So if electric was to be used, it must be used at a great distance.
And you're talking stim, not vibrate, or are you talking vibrate as well?
That's correct. No, vibrates happen all around the body. Vibrates happen constantly, because a vibrate is a cue that says next.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
right. So you're talking electronic stim. Do you know Kashi here?
I don't.
Dude, you need to know this guy, man.
Oh yeah, is he cool?
He's super cool. He lives in India.
Yeah.
But you should see what he's doing with his dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
and just like dropping the leash when a dog pulls on my end of engagement with her, she realizes we are no longer connected via leash and finds back to me without a verbal cue. Let me show you this.
I want to dive into what he's saying there. Well, I want to see his work, but I want to dive into his. Okay, so you drop the leash when the dog pulls. All right, so let's say that the dog is lagging behind, you start walking, and then the dog doesn't. So now you've got a dog 6 foot back, and he's saying, "I'm not going anywhere." And a lot of trainers, like I remember back in the day, they would say something along the lines, if he wants to keep his head, he'll start walking, which is a terrible thing. Holy shit, look at this guy.
Dude, you
So,
got to know Kashi, bro.
all right, I'll friend him. Or Kashi, if
So,
you're on here, friend me, man. I'll friend you back.
yeah. Well, I mean, these are, and he's gone to Napopo Silver School as well, but he's in India and he's doing some remarkable things, man. Like,
Yeah.
we've got, oh, right here is what we're talking about. Let me put it up here. So watch him pull and then drop the leash. Watch, ready, and leash drop. Watch the dog.
Yeah.
Boom, right
Yeah.
back
This
to
is
you.
the same kind of stuff that I'm doing, though. This is what I'm talking about. I don't need the leash. By the time I don't even use a leash, by the time I've got a leash on, that dog's already well trained. He's 100% trained from beginning to end.
Right. Well, a lot of people too, once they drop that leash, that dog is out of there. Right. And so
He's got pack drive.
Yep, that's exactly
That dog
harnessing the pack drive. I'm
He
building
wants to be with his handler. That dog
Yep.
he loves the handler, and the handler loves the dog. And that is the point. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the point. My dog, I guarantee Andre would do that. That dude,
yeah, same.
Dog Andre
same
is
my dogs,
goddamn glued to me. He never wants to leave. But so it's all pack drive. And I love what he said. He's wanting to tap into pack drive. It's all pack drive. So let's talk about like lunge line with Keeler.
Okay.
All right. So when I used to do lunge line, I had a 15-foot.
Let's explain it, but just for anybody that does, because not everybody's a Keeler aficionado. Lunge line is a 15-foot line
with a chain on the end.
With a chain collar, right? And the chain collar is dual purpose. One, so it doesn't pop off the head of the dog.
Yep.
And two, that we have a chain click, 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 an auditory cue to the dog as well.
And it happens just before the punisher, right?
That's right. Right. So we have indicator and then a punisher.
I used to look at that, and I did Keeler for years, and I always thought the reason that the dog is sticking by me is because he doesn't want to hit the end of the line. And then Kelly Blackwell said, get rid of the 15-foot line. And I hate to say it, but at first I'm like, what, are you crazy? Like, get rid of the 15-foot line. He's going to run off. What I didn't realize is that somewhere around 50 feet away from me, the dog was going to realize, where the hell did my handler go? Look back and then chase me down to catch me, because he wants to be with me just as much. So Keeler knew this, though. He used a 15-foot line. The reason the dog is with the handler is because the handler is the safe zone. There is certainly a don't hit the end of the line. But I guess what I'm trying to say is get rid of the 15-foot line and it still works.
Interesting.
Okay. Go out to one of your fields that's completely fenced in. Get a random untrained dog. Okay. And start walking. And he's going to go ahead of you, take off, go explain. He's going to go party like dogs do. He's going to go sniff. He's going to go do whatever. Turn around, go the other way, put as much distance as possible between the two of you. That dog will come to you.
Yeah, you can hear it. I listen for it.
But he's going to come to you. Yeah, he's going to come to you 100 miles an hour because he's worried he will lose you, because separation from the human equals death. That's separation anxiety. Then he sees you running, so it triggers prey drive. And I think the mixture of the two is what we're going to create as pack drive, like pack drive to go into it. The dog doesn't want to get away from you because you're the reason that he survives. You're becoming attractive because you got badass treats, plus you're running, so you're triggering his prey drive.
Plus you're moving together in space, right?
Yep.
And so you're interacting in a way that the dog understands.
Yep.
And you're safe. You're not being insistent.
Never. No. And I'm also, I don't know, there's this weird like dating analogy that I use too, because I'm not desperate for his attention. So like what I know is that when he goes that way and I go the other way, give it a couple seconds, he'll be here in no time. I know this.
It's almost like playing hard to get in a way.
That's 100% what it is. That's 100% what it is. Now, and if what a lot of people do on recall, okay, is the same thing that the guy on Friday night, he takes this hot girl out on a date. He really likes her. And she liked him too. And then he drops her off. And by Saturday morning, she's got 27 text messages on her phone professing his love to her, and flowers on the front door, and how he's going to marry her and everything. He's blowing his chances because he looks desperate.
Looks clingy.
That's what's going on with your recall. Okay. You're out here going, come. Oh my God, he's going to die. Get back over here. And the dog's like, gee, what the hell? And he won't come to you because you look desperate. Okay, play hard to get. Go the other way. Act like you could care less. That dog will be there in no time.
Okay. Well, Robert Rodriguez is joining us real quick. Thank you, Robert. I want to know how you're doing, buddy. Robert got a cut on his foot and he got a blood infection. Had to go to the hospital for a few days. And so let me know in the comments, Robert, if you're out of the hospital, and hopefully you are. I think I saw that you were, that they started to get it because he's had to stay there a little bit longer. Scary shit, man. Like that can happen pretty quickly, and so he's always showing support, and Robert is going to be coming on a live stream. We got Robert coming on. We got Kashi coming back on. We got Joel coming back on. So all these people.
Yeah, you got a lot, man.
George, I've already done one. I haven't done one with Casey yet, but maybe someday I might even do Casey, like Casey Phillips. I don't know.
Oh, that's my, yeah, she works for me.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So that's how
she's awesome.
But all these people I'm looking on my comments here, and I chat with so many people, man. This is so great about just about dogs, man. And we all, like I said, we all have something to learn from each other, but we all have something to teach each other as well. And that's the goal of these live streams, is to learn myself, right? And hopefully you guys gain advantage as well. So let me go back through this, okay? So
right, man.
Go back, introducing the vibration. We're going to be doing that at high drive and high stimulus, so the dog, the noise level, it matches that and doesn't overwhelm the dog.
Right.
We're going to be become the leaf as your mentor, or be the leaf, right? Be enticing to that dog. Be the squirrel,
but also have no motive, and that's the hard part. You're supposed to get everything while acting like you want nothing. It's I know, because we all get the dog out, we look right at them and we go, okay, we're gonna learn something today. And this is more of a play hard to get and act like the dog came up with it all on his own. Isn't he so smart?
Yeah. Well,
so if you're acting like you want something, in some ways you're showing your cards. So that's why I say be the squirrel, because the squirrel is running off and that's attractive. But Kelly, she's got a deeper meaning there when she's saying be the leaf, because the leaf has no motive.
The leaf is just moving with the wind, but it's also being enticing because of the movement and the noise, and the dog wants to check it out, right?
That's right. Yes. And she wants me to be the leaf. Be the leaf, meaning I'm enticing, I move, I do these things, but I have no motive. I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I'm like, I'm a salesman. I mean, it's all your choice. You can do it. There's free samples over here. You can have some of these, you can have some of those. In this area over here, it tends to be where you tend to receive food. Same with over here. But these are just free samples. There's no food lures. I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I'm free shaping. When you happen to do something, it impresses everybody, so then you're going to repeat that something. But it's more like the dog surprised me with the behavior. I'm not getting across to the dog that I want him to do something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it's also like that casino analogy. I just did a live stream with this guy, Michael Carpenter, who worked in the casinos, and he said something that is kind of ringing true that I'm thinking about right now. And it's like when people go in the casino and they win, they're hooked forever, right? And so it's like when the dog comes into your casino, you make them a winner.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you make them a winner.
You make them a winner, man, and then they're hooked. Then they're like, hey, man, this is actually a good. I'm glad I stumbled on this little secret.
But if you went up to the roulette table, if you went up to the roulette table and you are going to spin that wheel, and you thought that the casino really wanted you to play black, well, that they're in the. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, hey, why don't you play black this time? And you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a second, dude.
Why are you wanting me to? You're wanting to take my money, and I'm wanting to take your money. So why do you want me to play black? You see what I'm saying? So you can't let on that
ulterior motives, right? There's ulterior motives that you can people, like I tell people, especially with dog trainers. I talk to dog trainers, and if you guys are interested, I do Zoom sessions for dog trainers, building your business, building a successful business, attracting good clients, qualifying the good clients, and most importantly, don't look like you're hungry around those clients, because they can tell, man. They can tell if you have ulterior motives. They can tell, right? And you're going to turn them off.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be able to trust you. And just like the rapport that we were talking about earlier, we want them to come back. We want them, right,
Yeah.
to be repeat clients. And some of my clients I've had since 2007, man, for almost 20 years. I have not just my clients, but now I have the kids of my clients that were in elementary school and high
Oh yeah,
school
yeah.
way back then, dude.
Well,
And
that's
now they're
cool.
out on their own. And
Yeah.
now I got them as well. And so there's a way to structure this where you become a trusted, true
Yeah.
relationship. What is a
Yeah.
rapport? So like, I got to go back to the meaning of rapport, right? Where you become a close, harmonious relationship in which people
Yep.
understand each other's feelings and ideas and communicate well. And so I help people do that. And
Now in that way though, okay, we're running on this same exact idea. You're a salesman in this way, but you're not a salesman. You're just here to help them with their problem. And then they
Yep.
know you have a solution. You're here to help. You do help. But if you get hungry and you seem salesy, then it's a turnoff, right?
yeah.
Now,
Or if you don't price yourself right too, man, like that's where,
sure.
like, if you price yourself too low, dude, or if you
Yep.
give away this shit for free,
Yeah.
right? There's ways and when I'm restructuring my business in a way that I'm kind of like a doctor. My wife is coming on board. Pray for me. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's going to be the head of operations here, right? And so she's going to be helping me with my scheduling. And so also, if you're too available to people, like there's certain aspects of this that are psychologically driven, but that's why it's important to understand the human element, because that's who we communicate with. But it's more important to understand the dog element and then how to communicate to the human element to get the relationship to improve on the dog element. It's a trippy thing, man, this interspecies cross species communication. But it's also very cool because we're passionate, like you said, we geek out about this stuff just on the dog end. But if you can't make a good living at it, then you're going to get burned out, dude. Like it happens really quick.
Yep. So
or
hey, on the realm of your salesman that you're talking about, these consultations that we're talking about with these clients, and if you look needy, if you're too low, if you look hungry or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's switch over to dogs. Looking hungry, looking needy with dogs when you're in training, okay? How needy do you look if you use negative reinforcement? If you say, if I say you have to, if I tell the dog you have to do it because I said so, now the seduction has ended. The sales pitch has ended. We're no longer seducing. We're now making you. And so you flip the script.
Yeah, but there's also a time and a place too. Like you said, with the stem, like there's a must key there that has to happen, but that happens once the rapport is already established, and that's the key. Is like
so I don't do that though. I don't do it, and I think that's the fun part around this. Okay, is this whole like seduction process of, let me throw this at you. Okay, I put a dog on a bed and I pay him, and he goes, okay, shit, I'll get on the bed again and pay, get on the bed again and pay, get on the bed again and pay, get on the bed again and pay. He goes, hell yeah, I like this bed. This bed is awesome. And I go, great, stay there the rest of your goddamn life. He goes, wait a minute. Something just flipped. So you switched the deal on me. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I don't mandate that. I don't mandate it. I just keep paying. And then they go, this is the fucking spot for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, he might break that for heavy distraction, right? Because there hasn't been a stimulus that says you have to. So he might break that behavior and head over here for this distraction, in which case I'd say our distraction proofing for recall isn't strong enough.
Well, and it's also like we're talking about pet dog people too.
We are.
Where their standards aren't necessarily like, and I need to remember that, because sometimes when I'm working with my working dogs, right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you though, I don't think that this method is going to have less reliability than a method that does include negative reinforcement.
Well, negative reinforcement just means we're removing something to reinforce the
What I'm
behavior,
saying is
right?
what I mean is like when we apply a stimulus and then it goes away when the dog, we're forcing our hand. We're saying, hey, do it because we said so. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we're being more insistent, I would say, because there's
Sure. Yeah.
different
Yeah.
negative reinforcements that the dog does on their own, right? That reinforces a behavior like pulling on a
Yeah.
leash or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we were talking about, getting to the sniffing spot or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Then that's they just negative reinforce themselves. But as we become more insistent, then it might change the
It changes the dynamic that you
the
originally
dynamic of the temperature of the
explained to the
relationship.
dog. And so what I'm saying is that there's a secret result in there at continuing the seduction instead of at a certain time telling them to. Now it might take a little bit longer. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like for stay commands specifically, like stays are generally when a person might need a little bit of negative reinforcement to solidify that stay command after I've enticed them into it. Okay. But I mean, I'd have to go into a whole thing, but there's ways to get them without having to say that you have to.
Well,
But
and
I
with the
think that's,
stay command too, like I might introduce different things like that might be perceived as being insistent at first. Like for instance, let me just give you like do a stay, walk off, and then go. No, I'm not staring at the dog, but I'm running back towards the dog, right? And then that might be a little bit overwhelming for that dog.
and he might break. Yeah.
Right. And but instead if he doesn't break, then it's like I might run right by the dog, right? To show him, hey, look, this had nothing to do with you. Or I might stop and then notice the dog, party time, right? And just to show these little windows of incremental intensity to help proof that training. But I mean, I'm just trying to think of different ways, but it's not really being insistent. I mean, yeah, it is, because I mean, I will probably have a leash on that dog too.
Well, you got to,
Yeah.
and this is the fun part for me, is trying to figure out how to get the same result that I used to get without being insistent. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is where
we noodle it out, right? And think
it's
about
where
different.
it's where Kelly, is I think she's a genius, honestly.
I'd
And
love to meet her.
Anybody who goes to her page and looks at her stuff is going to see.
What's her name?
Kelly Blackwell.
Kelly Blackwell. I wonder if I know her.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is she on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she should be. But she's excellent. She's very, very good at what she does. And but anyways, though, the whole point of it is that the like when you see the things that she's doing, the way that she does that is she convinced that dog it was all his idea, and she never lets up on that. And if you say you have to, if you're insistent, then it's a new method. It's different. Because if I convince the dog that it's all his idea and I never let up on that, then he's just consistently performing, and he's consistently perfecting his art form, and he's consistently showing off. Now, Bill, you've seen, I mean, I'm sure you appreciate art in certain ways. There's people who are artists, they're putting out the most beautiful work in the world, and nobody made them do that. They did that because they love to perform.
Yes.
Some of our favorite musical people or painters or whatever the artwork is, it's the most beautiful work in the world. That's where art comes from. And art is beauty. Beauty is art. And these people are obsessed because they love it, because they're diving deep down into the art. And I really think that's kind of the analogy I like to think about these dogs, is like, as we're training them, we're turning them into a performer. We're turning them into an artist, and they now have something they can show off. And what is an artist without an audience? You see what I'm saying? And so they find people, they find audience. They go, hey, I can do these things. Do you want to see? Because the last guy really liked it. And in this way, I don't need to be persistent. I don't need to tell them that they have to, because they're tripping over themselves trying to figure out how to impress us. You see what I mean? So if I show up in the room, here they go. They're like, oh, he's here. He's here. Hey, you want to see me do it down? You want to see me heel? You want to see me go to the bed? You liked that yesterday. Here I am. And they're like they're offering up these behaviors, trying to now once they figure out that this behavior matches with this body language, then they only offer it up when the body language is offered up. But this is why I tell people when they come in the room, I say no words, because what is a word? It's a command, and a command says you have to. I'm commanding you. You see what I'm saying? Whereas this isn't a command. This is something that the dog came up with. If I'm telling him to do it, how is it that he came up with it? You see what I'm saying? That's my idea, not his. So I never ever. This is how we can get around it. This insistence, this persistence is saying, hey, you have to. You got to convince the dog that it's all his idea and that the only reason this behavior is even occurring is because he's such a genius.
Yeah, it's an intrinsic part of his expression that has gotten rewarded.
It's what they call free agency, right? So free agency is the internal dialogue inside of the dog's mind. What does he want to do? I want to continuously be improving his free agency, which is his internal dialogue. When I first get the dog out, his internal dialogue is to sniff and run away. But by the time we're finished, his internal dialogue is to stick as close to me as possible because he wants to. He thinks I'm the coolest guy in the world. I have seduced him in a way. It's almost like, a dating scenario where you're dating this girl and she's just got you head over heels in love and she's got you seduced. And you know what? On Friday night, this girl's been playing a little hard to get. Okay. She's been busy. She might text you a little bit and she might tell you that she, enjoys your company or have a couple messages back and forth, but you're chomping at the bit waiting for your shot. And then she says, how about Friday at 7? And I say, I'll be there 15 minutes early with a button-up shirt on. I'll make sure that I do my hair nicer than I normally do. I'll stop wearing Kranky K9 shirts even. You know what I'm saying? I'll even dress nice, and I'll borrow my buddy's car that's a little nicer than mine and take her to the restaurants that I can't afford. Do you see what I'm saying? Why? Because she has me seduced. She's got me tripping over myself, trying to figure out how to prove to her that I'm the best suitor for her. And this is what these dogs are doing. They're coming into the room going, don't pay attention to him. Me. Hey, you look what I can do. I can do downs. I can do heels. I can go to the bed. And there's no, they can't tell you no if you never tell them what to do. So then you never have to be insistent. That's why that's why I free shake.
Let me see. So I would use instead of seduce, I would use entice.
Sure.
Right. Because seduce.
I still think seduce kind of works better, honestly, but you'd have to see the method. You'd have to see what I'm up to in person in order to really see it. Because
seduce, the meaning of seduce, I'm a big guy on definitions, right?
Okay.
Is to entice, which is what I would use right there. Someone into sexual activity.
Oh, got it. Yeah. So maybe we need.
And so entice. Well, let's look at entice. Is to attract or tempt by offering pleasure or advantage, right?
Okay, so you're right. Entice is much better.
Right, but look at what the root is, bro. Fire. To set on fire, like firebrand is the TTO, which is the Latin, and it went to English and Old French, which is enticer, and that means set on fire. And now it's to incite, to provoke, right? To lure, to tempt, to attract.
So in some ways, we're setting we're setting them on fire in a sense that they're on fire for us.
That's right. But we don't want to have sex with our dogs. So
no, we're not. No. We'll leave that.
Maybe not seduce. Yeah, entice it is to Casey. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I believe a word is just a conditional response, not a command. Really, can you elaborate what you mean? So she wants to know why no talking.
So, all right. So there's no talking in the beginning because I'm trying to convince the dog that it's his idea. And so a word, whether you want to say it a cue or a command or a condition response, in some ways, Cher's not wrong here. Like a condition response, like if we were to train these dogs from A to Z, everything was gorgeous, everything was beautiful. And then I put a word on it after, I would be telling the dog, hey, you remember that like thing that you came up with a long time ago? You think you can do that now? Yeah. And then he'd be like, that thing I came up with, the down thing that everybody loves, Hell yeah, man. I'll do that right now. Check it. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's no reason I can't. It's like asking Tom Petty to play Last Dance with Mary Jane. He's like, yeah, I wrote that when I was 19. Everybody loved it. I'll do it right now. No problem. So it is not, I don't command them. So, but yeah, she's got a point there. I believe a word is a conditioned response. As long as I put those words on the way tail end of it, after things are very, very conditioned, very, very fluid to where there's no, I wish I had that video of Andre doing his stuff. It was pretty fun.
Well, and remember what I said earlier, because Nelson's joining us now. What's up, Nelson?
Hey, Nelson.
You guys, and Nelson, you guys, if you haven't learned from Nelson, you gotta. He's got a wonderful institute, but I have written down right here, chattering monkey, right? And that's how the dog, because a predator, and I talked about you earlier in the conversation, Nelson, about how we're primates trying to communicate with a predator, and how Bo and I can just sit here. I've been standing in this one spot for now an hour and 35 minutes, just chatting with you. You've been just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
We're using our voice. We're just chattering monkeys. And that's what it is. It's like, it is a conditioned response. Yeah, but it's also too much noise where we want to kind of maybe silence our environment to let the dog have a little bit more of the spotlight.
Yeah.
And it becomes more of a stop talking about me. You
need to get out more.
Whatever. You don't tell me what to do. Actually, I'm going out on a date with Dawn.
Hey, what'd you just say? What'd you just say? You said, don't tell me what to do. You see that it causes an oppositional reflex, okay? This is why I tell them, right? Whenever they come in the word, I say no words. And the clients look at me like I got 3 heads. They're like, how am I supposed to tell them to sit if we don't use any words? And I'm like, all right, let me throw this at you, okay? Let's say my employee comes to work. She says, Bo, I got a great idea, man. It's a marketing idea. It's going to bring a bunch of people in. You're going to love it. And I go, oh my God, you're a genius. We're going to totally do that. I hope we can get that going today. She's going to move into the rest of the staff and be like, hey guys, I had an idea. Boss man proved it. Said we're going to do it right away. She's proud of herself. We grabbed her idea and we pumped up her ego and said, yes, that's wonderful. But what if I come to work on the same day and I say, hey guys, I got this marketing plan. You guys are going to love it. Let's go ahead and get this going. Jules, if you can get step 1 going, Casey, step 2. Guys, I'd like to see this in play by 3:00 today. Let's get on it. They're a wonderful staff. I got the best goddamn staff in the world. But they're just checking something off my to-do list. It's not theirs. So I give ownership of the cue to the dog. It's his behavior. It's not my behavior. I'm not asking for it. I'm not telling him to do it. And this is why the vibration is so effective, Bill, is because the vibration doesn't force anything. It can't. It cues up a moment where if the dog happened to perform that art form that he came up with a while ago, there'd be an audience that would applaud and pay a ticket to his show. And what is an artist without an audience? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, and just like the fact of you going, don't speak. And then the people are like, what? And you're like, dude, right there. Now you know exactly how your dog feels when you're trying to, because you're telling them what to do. Just like you said, there's an automatic, reflexive, what did you say? Like kind of a negative feeling there.
Like
right?
There's like a, I don't know if I'm using that correctly. Like there's a lot of times, like when you tell somebody what to do, they are either going to say no or why. You see what I'm saying? They're either going to say no or why.
Dude, I'll laugh in your face. That's what I'll do.
And so by telling the dog that he has to, we instantly create conflict. And so I convince him that he wants to. So the vibrate, this is why it only taps 1 time. I'm not using negative reinforcement. I'm tapping it, instant behavior. Tap it, instant behavior. Tap it, instant behavior. Because I'm recalling the idea that the dog had.
It's an activation cue.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
It's activating. It's activating. It's cueing the thing, that wonderful idea that dog came up with so long ago and has been performing for such a long time now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Michelle says definitely like entice better than seduce.
Me too.
You're very welcome there.
I'm glad you changed that. I guess I'll stop saying that.
Entice.
That's hilarious.
Because it's like seduce is like there's an ulterior motive there too. Entice it is. Yep, we got
entice it is, yeah.
Well, and I want to go back to Robert here because Robert's home recovering out of the hospital. Scary. Tried to fought it out, but would have lost his foot. Pirate leg dog training. Hey, though, that brings us back. That brings us back to pirate leg dog training. It brings us back to the lifeboat analogy, right? And so be the lifeboat.
There you go.
You know, and
you don't want to be a pirate with a machine gun. No, you don't.
You don't.
No, you want to be the lifeboat, right? Yeah. And then so if the owner is the lifeboat and the shark, well, he's the squirrel. Okay, the squirrel is the shark. The dog ran out there thinking that it was going to be some kind of a prey animal that he was going to attack, and he didn't realize that this prey animal fights back. Okay, so then where does my vibrate come in? My vibrate is me. I'm your handler, and I'm telling you, bro, there's a shark in the water. Get back in the boat.
See you, Nelson.
Right? Like, yeah, see you, Nelson. Yeah, like, there's a shark in the water. We can all see the fin. Hurry up. Get the hell back over here, dude. Shark in the water. Shark in the water. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the water.
Life preserver.
It's my life preserver. Yeah. And I'm saying, hey, dude, shark, get back in the boat. Get back. And then here they come. And you know what? We got rum punch in the boat. We got like chicken and all kinds of things cooked up. Like it's a party in the boat. Why wouldn't you want to be in the boat? Do you see what I'm saying? And that's that's how recall works. But anyways, I don't know how we got back into that, but the lifeboat.
Well, because his leg.
Pirate,
he almost lost his leg, dude. So
you don't want to,
that's what
you don't want to be the pirate. You want to be the lifeboat. That is for sure.
And you want to go like quit being dude. That's what my wife would be like. Quit being such a guy, Robert. Like we need to, because I went into the hospital and they put me in the hospital for like 4 days with pneumonia.
Oh man!
I thought, dude, I was like, I wanted to get out of here. I want to pull all these hoses and all these cords. I hate the freaking hospital, and I don't even smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't do anything. And they gave me some drug. That dude made me want to crawl out of my skin. And I'm like, dude, I'm done. I want to get out of here, Donna. And she's like, you're not going anywhere, bro. You're not going anywhere. Like you're probably not even going to make it down the hallway if you even tried to walk out of here. Right. And I'm just like, but the discomfort, man. But it's just something that we got to deal with sometimes. It's just part of life. And so, but Robert, seriously, bro, I'm glad that you're doing better. I saw that. I sent you a little message and shout out to you, dude. Thanks for always being here and supporting my live streams. And I just love you. I love all my viewers, and I love finding out new stuff. So let's go back. I got to actually run here pretty soon, Bo. So I want to remind people about this. So I'm going to put up. Yeah, let's put up the seminar here one more time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So it's the end of September. It's coming up in about a month, a little less than a month. And it's in St. Louis. It's at my facility. I got a 10,000 square foot facility. We've got all the room. We got a 2-acre fenced in yard in the back. We're going to be running recalls from 100 feet away all afternoon. And we'll do training room work. We'll teach everybody how to entice these dogs into these behaviors so that they don't have to force them. It's like I always say, it's not 100% positive reinforcement, but it's at least 90. You know what I mean? It's going to be very, very, and I think people are going to love it. Any dog trainers who've been doing this for a long time and you think you've seen everything, come out and let me show you something that you've never seen before. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll go, oh, this is stupid. You're an idiot. Or maybe you'll say, some of this I can use, some of this I can't use. But just as anything, you're going to see that it's a system that step A works with step D, which works with all the way with step Z. So it is a system that all works together. So sometimes when you piece a little of this here and piece a little bit that there, it doesn't quite. Oh, that's like a potty training thing. You don't want to be on that page.
Where is it at? Here, no, this is it. So
there's a pop-up. There's a pop-up down there at the bottom.
Sign up here. I wonder if that will do it.
I think.
Oh, here it is. Yep.
So that's not the flyer. That's the actual sign-up page.
It says audit spots are 300 on this. So is it 250 or 300?
Oh, it's 250. Yeah, it's 250. Okay. It's 500 for a working spot.
Okay.
Or 400. 400. No, those prices are off. It's 250 and 400.
Okay, you
It's
guys.
my first seminar. It's my first seminar, So,
you
but
guys will be there for the inaugural first seminar.
that's right. Yeah, and it'll be 3 pages or three days. We'll have a lot of fun. There's going to be, your dog's going to get exercise. He's going to be running recalls. He's going to be doing stuff. So bring your dog. We have audit spots and working spots. Even if you can't bring a dog, you're going to get a ton of knowledge. I hope people bring great questions. I'd love to see, as many people as we can get in there.
Well, and it's also just, support Bo, but we need to have a eclectic knowledge base as dog trainers. And if somebody's doing something different, man, learn from them. Just like we were talking about, even working with dogs almost 30 years, I'm learning every single day. And, once you think you know it all, you're dead in the water. You're just waiting to be literally bit in the ass.
Yeah. It's kind of it's kind of a weird place that I'm in, Bill, because it's a very, very positive reinforcement method that involves e-collars. So it seems almost like neither camp, the positive reinforcement only people or the balance trainers like it, because it's like, it's got to be the most positive reinforcement e-collar technique that you'll ever see. And so you could really, I think the positive reinforcement crowd could really get on board with it. They would go, "Oh, wow, this is really cool," but they hate e-collars, so they never will. You know what I mean? But I think our balance trainers, I really think it's a very, the word balanced fits to me, because the dog's going to be learning with positive reinforcement, but we all understand there's a couple of moments in dog training that fail when it comes to positive reinforcement only method. And that's where the e-collar comes in.
Well, and it's also how that we also have that stem too, just in case, man. Like, it's kind of
it's just in case, but it also has to be done. I mean, it's like part of the, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those scenarios, like they're going to chase prey. If you don't proof that recall, you're never going to have it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but like you were saying about it being palatable to your clients, the clients love it. They love it. They're all enjoying it, getting a kick out of it. Some of them are in your thread. Michelle Nickerson's one of my clients. Hi, Michelle. And
what's up, Michelle?
Yeah. So, but they love it. I'm probably going to have a lot of clients there at the seminar. But I'm hoping some dog trainers show up. I'd like to get into some really in-depth questions with some of these, folks. So anyways, if anybody, friend me on Facebook. If any of you guys are watching this and you're curious, friend me. You'll see my signs, banners, posters all over my homepage. You can go to the website and find it too. I'm going to continuously be pushing this marketing out, trying to get people to come in the next, few weeks. So I'd love to have you. Anybody want to private message me, ask questions, how's it working, whatever, I'm down with that too. So.
And I put up a link to your Facebook profile as well.
Thanks.
And also Kranky K9 Dog Training. And I'm sure this is going to be your first, but I'm sure it's not going to be your last, Bo. And I appreciate your time today. And I wish you the best of luck on this, bro. And keep me posted. And
thanks a lot, Bill.
Yeah, anytime you want to chat, I'm down. And
all right.
And I'll let you know next time I'm in the St. Louis area. I'll actually be in Springfield again in October doing another NAPO Post school.
That's it's a good 2-3 hours away from St. Louis, I think. Springfield, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm flying into St. Louis. Yeah, it's 3 hours away. And dude, I went and had my first White Castle cheeseburger.
I never had one. It's a life experience there. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Bro. And they had the ghost pepper one too. And I was like, dude, this is not too bad. So
yeah, they're pretty good. Hey, if you want to fly in a day early and come to my facility.
I am coming a little early, but we'll see, because I might just come down there. We'll talk about it, because I've been working with a couple dog trainers about putting some seminars together for myself and some other people. So I might tap you as put you on the circuit, right? Because that's where I want to do these, is at dog trainer facilities. I don't necessarily want to do them at hotels. It's a little bit too much, and I want to benefit my colleagues as well. And then also we'll work with the staff too. So what we do is we work with the general public, but we also save a day or half a day to work with your staff as well. And I have some pretty big names that I'm going to be working with and traveling with.
They would love that. Yeah, I would love that. They would love that. But yeah, hit me up. Come out and visit. The facility is great for holding seminars. It would be cool. anyways, come out and see. I'll show you some stuff. I'll show you how we do the vibrate recall. You know what I mean?
Cool.
I got the spot. It's about 30 minutes from the airport.
From the St. Louis airport?
Yeah, about 30
Okay.
minutes from the St. Louis airport.
Dude, it's so cheap to fly from Seattle to St. Louis, and there's direct flights too. So maybe we'll just make a date and just make this happen. Hey, Siobhan, nice to see you. Yeah, good to see you as well. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, Bo. Well, let's say you stay right there, but we'll say goodbye to everybody. Bye, everybody. Check out my
later. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Yeah, check out the Patreon page. Check out the YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next live stream.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate you, bud.
You bet. Stay right there, Bo. I'll say bye to you in the studio. Okay.
Okay.